fall. But we do have 3 maps, so tell me what you think coming to this game between these two teams, how you feel like this match can potentially go.
Well, Mirage has been like a fantastic map for ages for Fnatic, so I think that that's where it's going to be quite a struggle for the Danes on that side of things. Like, I don't think it's a particularly bad map for them either, but Fnatic have beaten the best of the best, and they themselves can be the best of the best at times. Like they definitely have some sort of weird scores sometime where you're a little bit questioning what went on, but Nuke, I definitely think the Danes have a much better chance. And just look at the aggression. NATO's going to run straight out. Clearly, the Sox didn't bring him luck in the first round, but Freiburg, at least going strong, will be able to bring a couple back, leave it into this 2v2 situation. As it will be Twist and Brolan looking to try and turn the tide. S-Tag hoping to try and do something with the P250. Bomb not going to be able to be planted as Twist has managed to get nice and close, but misses the shot. Freiburg going to get his 3rd of the round. A legend in Counter-Strike still going strong. And he's up against someone, well, at the other end of the scale, a 17-year-old youngster. Brolan had a fantastic performance yesterday. Can he bring this back?
I was sure as hell going to try. I believe he spotted out at least one. No, he didn't spot out a player, as he's going to be transitioning back down towards lower, realizing the bomb was not planted in towards upper. The problem is, up against 2 players in a situation with no kit as well is going to be very tough. However, does have a smoke, does have a flash to play with. But with Freiburg with 3 kills already in this round, I find it very hard for him to be able to come back. And that's going to be Freiburg picking up a quad kill. By the way, I just want to point out, and I feel like I'm right in saying this, I think Twist naded and dropped out of rafters into upper to hide the sound of him falling, which is why no one's looking in his direction. But Freiburg was able to just snap quick enough to his head and take him out.
Well, snap quick enough after he missed 7 shots.
Technically, he snapped from where he was missing into his head, right? So it counts.
But there were definite opportunities in that round for Fnatic, but unable to bring things back. They're going to go for the force buy into this one, wanting to make sure that if they're unable to win this round, the one that they do buy in, they'll at least have all their utility available to them. But a lot of smokes being thrown out on the outside, allowing Freiburg to cross, but it's all a bit of a bait. They're hoping they can force some rotations, and they have. A couple of players have moved onto the lower level of Nuke. Crims is going to be waiting, but again, Freiburg, all he's doing here is just trying to pull as many players. They're now up to 3 on that lower side of the map, so the T's should have a good opportunity, but they're still taking their time, and we know that the rotations, at least on Nuke, are very quick if they can get control of the vent, which the CTs do have at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see where they go, and they are actually going to go back towards the ramp, so still looking like they might challenge on to B. Brolan ready and waiting, missing the shots, will have to fall back, but he's got multiple players to support him here. NATO's going to push into a crossfire, doesn't actually get killed off by one, but the second is there to find the trade, and the T's are going to continue in that direction, at least for now.
Still 4-on-2, Blame F comes up with a nice kill onto Brolan. They have that solid control of lower. There's Twist with a scout. I mean, after seeing Automatic with the scout from Liquid yesterday when they were playing on Dust 2 up against Daytona, can't really count the scout out at all. However, up against 4 and in this close proximity of the lower site, it's definitely going to be a different feat. So the bomb going to be going down. Exist might peek to the door. Actually just going to spam through it here, trying to catch out S-Tag. Does delay the bomb plant for now. However, Freiburg, looking for his ex-teammate, will eventually cause Exist to fall and Twist by himself. Most likely just going to save the scout into the next round. And by the way, for people who are joining us, who maybe missed out on day 1, just to give you an idea of how these teams got here today, we do have Fnatic. They lost to Energy in their opening match in Group A, and then they went on to beat Greyhound later on. And then we had Heroic take the win against Daytona, setting them to the lower bracket, but then they lost to Astralis in their best of 3. And that's how we're having this matchup conclude here at the moment. But Astralis Energy in Group A, by the way, playing for a spot through into semifinals. The other one going to be getting through into, I believe, quarters, or at least a minimum of quarters.
Yeah, NIG, I believe, actually having a fantastic comeback as well in their game.
Which is crazy, considering, was it Daps?
Yeah.
Has to play with his old team again after already being dropped from the roster.
That's always the thing that I wonder in these sort of scenarios is, if they go on and like somehow manage to win the tournament, what do they do? Like, do they just go, oh, please come back, right? We miss you. Stan, get out of here.
Stan is who?
Yeah,
Stan is who?
We didn't even like him. It was just a mistake. We were on a break.
All right, Ross. Oh, Heroic with the 2-0 start. Really up against a big stack on the outside. Freiburg with the MAC-10 looking to do some damage, looking to build up some money. and get some savings. Eventually, Crims will take him out of the fight, and Twist will get one as well, so taking a little bit closer. However, not really many weapons dropped here on the side of Heroic. They still have the 2 AKs and the Galil, and now Twist all left to his own with the Scout another time. And it looks like Heroic will start off with a fairly early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, somewhat expected after defeating the 4 Spy that this round should be going the way of Heroic. It's actually interesting, the game that we saw yesterday, they did get dominated by Astralis, but they still had some like crazy rounds, like back-to-back aces coming in from different players, Blame and Stown, able to just find some fantastic rounds, and even then, they only got 7. So it really does show that yesterday they were unable to compete. There was also a great round from Glaive where he sprays down 4 as they attempt to retake. It was a crazy game, but at the same time, Heroic just unable to compete versus, well, I was going to say the best team, the best Danish team in the world. Currently, Liquid still hold that #1 spot. Twist going to go down, but not really much of a problem for him. He's going to be buying up that AWP going into the next round, and the rest of the team will be able to purchase as well. But this is where we want to see Fnatic start to make a comeback. Nuke is definitely not the same case as it used to be, where it is dominantly CT-sided.
Yeah.
Like there's a possibility to get at least a reasonable amount of T rounds here, so
I feel like more often than not, we do see like a lot of reasonable rounds on the T side. Like I can't think of like too many games in recent history where it was like a complete stomp.
Yeah, no, a lot of the
side.
times the stomp comes out from the team managing to get a lot of T rounds.
Yeah.
Like Astralis, when they were so dominant, if they started T side, they still got a hell of a lot of rounds, and that was how it adapted. Either way, it is going to be the first pick coming in for that CT side. JW with the opener. He's now just going to lurk on the outside. Of course, they do still have a little bit of bonus money to go into the next round if Fnatic do step up here and get themselves the victory.
It's not a number you see too often, 220 ADR. I mean, yeah, 3-0, they won the pistol round, but still, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, if he carries it on, I'm pretty sure they'll win.
I almost want to see him do that now and have them lose. To have no one on the team get any kills the rest of the game.
Yeah, have a talk to Simple. I'm sure he's been there.
Quite a few times. Even just yesterday,
but
as he almost dropped 60.
They actually won that game, and he had like plus 30-something over 2 maps. So it's just ridiculous. But here we go, CT side stepping up. Nato and Blame trying to turn the tide, and Crims will go down. Push going to be coming in. Is this facing the wrong way? Doesn't expect Nato to sneak his way through. And they brought this back. Blame almost gets caught on the ladder. He's able to escape. Brolin's going to go chasing, but can't go any further. However, Twist in the back lines will now leave it into the clutch, and there's not a lot of time for Nato to play with 15 seconds. In fact, he knows that Brolin's on the other side and just going to try and plant safe. That's actually a smart position, but he hears the ladder movement. And it's given more time to Twist to get that a little bit closer. Has to stick it now, and this is where the CT side will get nice and close. Brolin picks it, but he takes the headshot. Lays it into the 1v1. The AWP versus the AK. Twist about to round the corner, and he'll win it. Closes it out in the end, but it's brought very close by Nato. And the CT side are going to take a lot of damage with their first round on the board.
I feel like Brolin almost actually gave like a victory to Heroic off of that. Just the fact that he kind of faked out the ladder push, right? Which actually caused Natasafix to stop playing the bomb, check the angle, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna put behind the silos. I'm actually playing it behind that position. And then Twist came in through the same location, through Squeaky Door. So they didn't come in from 2 different angles, so they try to force a 2-on-1 fight. But then Brolin gets over aggressive, gets caught out in the 1v1, but luckily has Twist there to back him up to make sure to secure that round. But 3-1, and Heroic already taking a timeout here off the bat.
Yeah, I think maybe just discussing what they're actually going to do in this round. I think it's an important start for them on this map. If they can break back, get a 4th round, and really do the damage onto Fnatic's economy early, this could be the way they start things off. So, yeah, I think it's actually a very good place to take the pause. They opt against the AWP, which makes me think this is going to be a bit of a faster play, or a play where they're not just posting up Nato with the AWP and hoping that he gets a pick. It's more going to be like faster rotations, maybe taking some out of control using the smokes, and maybe even just trying to brute force things here because they know that the economy for the CT side not going to be properly built up just yet.
Also, we have to keep in mind for people who are watching, we are not playing on the latest patch.
Yeah.
So the AUG changes, okay, nerfs, are not in effect.
So the AUG is still BS.
Tell me how you really feel, Tom. Because technically you could have said that about the AK before they all started being played a lot more.
No. No. Because the AK, it was like that because you're playing on the side where you have to go aggressively pushing into angles. So if you can just hold, if you could just hold with the AK, it's always favored. That's why all the CTs always pick it up. Crims, a good start.
Well, he picked up a bullet.
Oh no, sorry, Freiberg, a good start. Crims is dead.
It's a better start than he had yesterday, where he had 1 kill in the first round.
First half.
Sorry, yes, first half. That's
first
even
round
more
really
scary.
so bad.
Let's see now if Fnatic can fight with just 3 players left. Brolin able to help get things a little bit closer to equalizing between the two teams. However, Smoke's going to go in to block him off. The bomb's going to get put down. And rotation's going to be coming through here. Exist and JW are going to have to hit quite a few shots to allow Brolin to be able to assist in, considering he's down to 29 health.
They've got no utility either. At least having a kit, the smoke and the flash is all they'll be having to get them back into this round. And well, Exist is at least picking some up as he goes, but I think this is the moment they actually decide just to exit out, escape, and have the chance to buy back in. They'll retrieve the AWP, and yeah, the money situation is not going to be much better because this is the problem. Like, you win that 1 round and bounce back, you actually lose a little bit of your loss bonus. It won't be anything too much, of course, now that it actually still stacks up. But good bounce back from Heroic. Freiberg's been off to a really good start. Like, he's been someone in the past who was probably in his prime the best entry fragger in the world. I don't think that's too far to say. Like, he really was fantastic at finding opening picks. So far, he's done that pretty much every round. Like, we saw him with the MAC-10 in one of the rounds. We saw him with in the pistol round as well, getting entries onto the site. And in this round as well, just running through, gets rid of Crims, and then that's how they actually end up like pushing their way towards the B site. So yeah, great job from Freiberg. He's been someone who gets quite a lot of flack nowadays within Heroic, so always good to see him stepping up.
And for him to take down Crims too, like most importantly, like taking down such an explosive player that and a solid player that Crims can be, I think it makes it even more important of that entry frag he did get. But then again, we know Fnatic are about a team of clutches. By the way, Tom, did you know you can now see Molotovs and who threw them on the mini-map?
Yeah, I may have brought that up too many times yesterday. You'd have to rub it in. Blame. We'll spot out JW, the aggression. Not going to pay off this time, although I like it. He's left Crims behind. This is actually really clever. He spots JW running away, and then Crims are just waiting for Blame. Just about gets away with it. 2 HP. The headshot found. Again, Freiberg will get a pick on that outer spot, getting rid of Twist. We're going to see the CTs just fall back into a super passive hold on the site, sat in the corners. They know that the wraparound's going to be coming in from heaven. There's so much map control now taken from Heroic. This becomes very, very difficult. 45 seconds left on the clock. You can just see how patient the Danes are being. Just waiting for anybody to push into the angle. Just going to start expending utility. JW knows that he needs to make some sort of play here. Sat in the corner won't be enough. Freiberg again finds another JW, just hoping he can hold on. And well, he's been spotted. Going to get overwhelmed. And Brolin, well, again, he's just going to have to try and fall into some sort of save. Another great round from Heroic, but I actually like the ideas from Fnatic, or at least the one that we saw almost work for Crims.
Crims, yeah.
It was a very smart play, just unfortunate that he didn't have the weaponry and that Blame is able to snap to his head.
You know, it confused me a little bit that people always talk about, you know, Astralis being such an amazing team on Nuke. But I feel like people forgot that, like, back in 2012, 2013, like, NIP then and Very Games then were also very, very good teams on Nuke. I remember one of like the first matches I ever casted at like the EMS1 finals in the old Cologne Studios here for ESL. It was Very Games versus NIP on Nuke, and it was actually like a really crazy match between those two teams. And it's nice to see Freiberg be able to carry that over, you know, from his old NIP days. But 5-1, like that's a scoreline you can be very happy about, especially for Heroic here.
I think I'll never forget that one get right kill.
Yeah,
He's just falling through the air and just, was it with a Tech 9? I can't even remember what he used.
I think it was.
Just like flying through the air and gets a one-tap headshot. And you could just see like the reactions on the players' faces of just like, nah, that's not okay. That is probably one of the most memorable kills on this map. If not the most memorable, but 5-1. CT side, unable to really find any footing and just gonna have to go for some pistols.
You know, if we compare, if we can try to compare, I guess, Fnatic's match yesterday versus Greyhound and their match now. When Fnatic were playing Dust 2, they sat passive and held angles, right? And Greyhound were never able to really dislodge them or get any entry frags against them. But it seems like Heroic has just like been a completely different beast. Obviously, Nuke is a different map. I understand that. But being able to depend on Freiburg to win the outside battle, I want to say like 6 out of 6 times so far, or every time he's challenged, allows you to be able to keep Fnatic like on their back foot and keep them guessing of what you're going to do next. Like they can't depend on these passive holes necessarily. And they even blame F coming into Squeaky, taking on Crims in a situation he probably shouldn't have been able to win that fight. All right, well, you know, Twist has had enough.
Nice shot from Twist. That will be the opening pick.
I think Twist was helping him have a head day at the gym.
A head day?
Yeah, because Blame F's like ripped. You know, like arm day, leg day, back day.
Oh, no, yeah, I know all the other ones. Is that just where you like try and wrap some sort of like band around you and just...
I don't know. Well, or just take a deagle to the face.
I would not recommend that for anybody at home. That is a dangerous thing
to build up your resistance to bullets, you need to shoot yourself with smaller bullets.
Christ.
No. This is a great start by Heroic, even though we're joking around. This is like a fantastic start, and obviously taking things a little bit more cautiously after they've lost Blame F off the bat. Well, they are up against just the pistols and a little bit of armor. Now JW's able to chime in. Not able to recover any of these weapons, unfortunately, for Fnatic. But this is the start you want to see happen, especially in a crucial round like now.
Oh my God. This is just ridiculous. There's only 25 seconds left. Is this going to be the round that Fnatic win flawlessly? S-Tag will at least be able to get one, but he's just trying to hold on at this point. CT side have nothing to lose, so they're just going to go hunting. They want to try and get this weapon out of his hands, and Twist will do just that. This is the Fnatic factor. There's not a round that you are safe, and Heroic, that's going to be a painful loss. The CT side now get a big bonus of cash. They get to steal away a weapon or two. And they're going to be right back in with what I would say is the first proper fall buy we've seen from them with everything, like all the utility. And that's basically what we saw help build them into some of the rounds in the maps we saw earlier, was that they had a few of these 4 spy wins versus Greyhound, and that was enough to put them down.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the dogs were put down there. But didn't they say they haven't actually played together as a team in like 3 weeks, I think it was, due to visa issues? And that was unfortunate for them going into this tournament, but not unfortunate for Heroic now, as they are just walking all over Fnatic. Crim's gonna lose out in the duel against S-Tag, which he, as I see Tom's hands behind his head, should have been able to win out on that.
Oh, this is just a ridiculous round. They've just picked up the pace. That's been the difference. Heroic have been so slow and methodical all the way through the map. It's only really been Freiburg with any level of aggression. This time, the whole team just go barreling in. They run around outside. They drop down into mini. And they just completely overwhelm the players on the site. And that is what a change of pace can do. This is something that I believe that when Na'Vi or even Gambit were in like a prime position, like when they were playing some of their best Counter-Strike, that's how they win them, because Zeus has always been very almost renowned for these slow rounds. You throw one in that's like 10 times faster where you're just running and gunning, and sometimes the CTs aren't going to see it coming. So great work from Heroic again. Fnatic, they finally get themselves back onto the board off, well, a round they never should have had. And they're straight back down once again. Luckily, they have enough cash that they can go for something here. They've got the AWP. Crims can buy himself. Brolin can drop one. Okay, sure, maybe Exist or JW will be in a little bit more of a troublesome scenario. I think they're still going to take a pause to maybe talk through what they can do here, because if they save in the next round, they will have everything. Like, there'll be no like weaknesses within the buy at all. This one's going to be a little bit worse off for wear. So as you can see, there's a FAMAS, but I still think... JW gets given the FAMAS. He then goes, I'm not having that. And now Exist has it.
The role of the in-game leader, right? Funny enough, Heroic hasn't really been putting any presence on ramp. All of it's been towards outside and towards upper.
I think there was one round, and I'm pretty sure that was just the second round 4 spies. So.
Yeah, and Brolin wasn't able to hit the shots of the CZ on top of the boxes. But they've really just haven't been forced to go in different directions. I mean, yeah, they've lost 2 rounds, but the last round they did lose was just to pistols, and that was just kind of misplays or missteps on their side. Savin's able to get through, but Exist with the FAMAS, able to take him down, so making that gun work for him. Might be able to upgrade to that AK if he can get to it. But one of the few times we're seeing Fnatic get one of the first frags in the round, more importantly.
I think that's, and in fact, that's both times they've managed to get the opening pick. Oh no, actually, there was obviously the round with the Deagles, but let's talk about real rounds.
I'm great. that was real as it is to me.
But yeah, there was another round where they tried to brute force through Blame, though. Actually almost handed a kill. A nice little boost over the top of the boxes, which gives him vision that maybe Crims didn't expect, but the peak not rewarding Fnatic. A minute left on the clock. Of course, we expect this to burn a fair bit lower before Heroic actually make their move. They have been very slow and methodical. Again, we're going to see Brolin rotate down towards the B side because losing that player, it's left them without too much information. Sure, you got Twist on the outside with the AWP, but other than that, they don't actually have too much information. But here we go. Again, they wait patiently, and again, they get the opener. It's Freiburg to help out. S-Tag to get the kill. Exist still just going to be hiding in the corner. Twist making his rotation. We know that Brolin's a little bit further behind. Exist will be able to get one, but it's his teammate to go down in return. Brolin has brought it back into a 2 versus 2. Is NATO's position known? Exist does. He peeks him, but he isn't going to win that duel. The nade may be able to close him out, but it doesn't quite reach far enough. And the Molotov onto the bomb is going to burn this clock lower. Luckily, Brolin does have himself a kit, and he's going to try and get aggressive. S-Tag runs through his own Molotov, helps out Brolin significantly, and now he's just going to try and bait out the bomb. But NATO's going to come around. He almost gets him through the wall. Comes in with the pistol, spams away, but NATO just holds on. 2 kills for him in the round, and he may die. 3 HP. Even still, 7-2. Heroic with another round on the board. And again, Fnatic don't have the cash.
And that started off with Fnatic getting the first entry, or the first frag, I guess I should say, in the rounds. Exist picked up 2, I believe that was in the round, but not enough in the end. But Heroic, like, even with the man down, even with a couple of kills favoring them, I like the patience. I like that composure to not just rush into a site. You need to make sure to lock down these rounds as cleanly as you can, especially on the T side of Nuke. I mean, their economy isn't that nice at the moment. NATO's at 3,600. I mean, they survived with 1 player in the last round, so having to rebuy up into this round is really punishing on that bankroll. And Twist just back on the scout again here. Twist hasn't really been able to have the AWP too often. But then again, he's been more effective with the Deagle, I'd say. As if you cast your mind back to the headshot onto Blame F. But again, the presence out of Heroic towards ramp, it's just not there.
Yeah, I think they've just been so successful on outside that
Yeah.
they haven't really needed it. And they haven't really been going towards B. Like, they haven't been stopped with their rotation back around into mini. There hasn't been any domination on the outside, so why not? Like, these are positions that they don't really need to be taking if nobody's challenging. And it's not like Fnatic have then utilized that part of the map. Like, I think after a while, they may even have to be a little bit more aggressive with their control.
That's what I kind of want to see over towards ramp. You know, maybe just try to check them. Maybe force Heroic to get some sort of presence of mind to keep someone there watching. Because if you looked at the minimap, I mean, there's still technically 1 player back Stavin. But if you eliminate him, if you can kill him off, then you open up so much more of the map, and you really apply the pressure to Heroic to pick up the speed and force a fight. And now it looks like he's going to flash in Freiburg as, for peeking towards upper. Not going to have any presence just yet as Exist gets completely overwhelmed, and Brolin will be the last alive up against 5. He's going to get 1, a little extra pocket change for him. However, Heroic 8-2. They have showed up here to play today, Tom.
Yeah, Dane's on Nuke. It is it's just a great combo. Like, these are teams that you want to be seeing on this map.
It's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like pineapple on pizza. Not banana on pizza. That's a Swedish thing, and that's disgusting.
No, the most disgusting one is tuna.
Ugh, right?
Yeah.
Ew. I think, remember the first time I came to Germany, or not first time, one of the first weeks I was here, they had hard-boiled eggs on pizza.
What is that? They like eggs with everything.
It's true, and sandwiches. And Stavin, he likes some kills. Blame F, the fantastic flash through, taking out Exist and JW. And the pace we talked about. They were slow last round. They were fast the round before that. Going back to fast and aggressive play. Catches Fnatic off guard. They get the bomb down. And now Fnatic probably just got to try to save these weapons. They already have 2 players in towards spawn. Brolin's trying to escape. And Heroic are just walking all over Fnatic.
Yeah, it's getting to the point now where, sure, I want to keep giving props to Fnatic to be able to just run in and take duels like this, but how have you not adapted at this point? Like, how are they able to run into A with some of the most simplistic strategies you've ever seen in your life and just kill 2 players and there's no response at all? Like, something needs to change for Fnatic here, and I think it may be getting to the point where it's too late. 9-2 for the Danish side with a little bit of a Swedish twist. Because it's just, honestly, this is ridiculous. And like, I expected Heroic to do well on Nuke. Like, as I said, it's a Danish map, it's a map that they enjoy playing, but Fnatic are looking completely out of it. They've already used now 3 tactical pauses to try and make some sort of change, and nothing has worked. The only thing that's worked is a Deagle round, and then they managed one other round other than that. So, and even then, I think that was the 1v1 where Twist just about clutches it out. So it's not like it was a dominating round. They've had no clean rounds all the way through this match, and I think some of it comes down to just, well, first the utility usage. Like, they're not being able to stop the players just from running into the site, which even with Molotovs, I think we saw 2 players at least like having quite a bit of damage from flames. But the fact is, from Heroic, like we talk about, okay, they haven't needed ramp, they haven't really even needed B because the A site defense has been weak. So the way that this map's work with rotations, just have more players on A. Like, you can very easily like turtle up, have 4 players in towards this A site if you know, and then have 1 watching outside or 1 watching ramp, and then if they rotate in that direction, then you just dump down. Look at the nade stack! Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. And Twist has got to be tilted off the face of the earth. That is a great little stack that's come out from Heroic. They've thrown that in just as Fnatic use another tactical pause.
And with that kill, the limited utility that Fnatic has now needs to be forced out relatively early to make sure they just can't rush in towards one of these sites. So the monitoring and the controlling of utility usage out of Heroic has been phenomenal. Now Stavin, for one of the first times we're going to see, gets aggressive towards ramp, catches out Brolin, now gives him a 5-on-3, and potentially double digits on the T side of Nuke exists, though. The saving grace is going to get his first kill, but he's going to be overwhelmed by Nato. And Heroic, I think they're going up to 10 here. Crims, I would love to see you be able to clutch this, but that might just be a little bit too much to ask of right now.
They've got too much map control. They have ramp, they can double back to B, they could even go round to Heaven and go back into A again. This is one of the problems with Nuke, is once you have full outer control or full ramp control, the things the CTs can do become very, very limited. And this is what I mean. They've gone back to A. They've completely played Crims, and getting back into the A side is going to be way more difficult. He's even going in the wrong direction at this point. I think he'll just have to go for a save. Again, another great round from Heroic. And the worst thing is, Fnatic even did do what I said. Like, they put 4 players on A, they had 1 on ramp, they decided to completely abandon outside and just make sure they couldn't get in early. Instead, they used a nade stack to kill off Twist before he could even see anyone. And Stown is on fire, by the way. Like, last couple of rounds, he hasn't actually had that much to do, but when he has been in a 1v1 duel, this youngster has been destroying anybody who gets in his way. And you have to remember that we always sort of talk about Brolin as the young up-and-coming talent. Stown is another person that is put in the same sentence. He is fantastic. And I believe they either the same age or like the difference is so limited. Like Stown, yeah, they're both 17.
I just want to point out, by the way, I just wanted to look at flash assists out of the team. So far, Fnatic has 0. Nato has 3. I feel like Blame Ev, it says 0 at the moment on HLTV, but he should have way more than that, because I did see in a round he got 2. I feel like just in general, the utility usage to set up kills so far out of Heroic has been great. I feel like they've been able to read into the way Fnatic have been holding the upper site. Brolin, a much needed double kill here.
He gets away. Freiburg going to look to hunt the youngster down, and experience will prevail this time. He's only got half HP, however, and getting this 1v3 clutch is going to be a difficult one. Brolin has stepped up big in this round with a triple to give them a big lead into this one. Freiburg will have to do something very impressive, but he has been, at least on the entry, he's going to go pushing with his back towards ramp, turns just at the right moment, spots out Crims, but there's 2 players around this angle. Twist looking for the peak as well, but they're not giving him enough space, and Crims is there to put him down in the end. It will be another round on the board for Fnatic. They at least look to try and bring this back to 5, but we know how much Heroic in terms of finances have made already in this half. So there is going to be a buy every single round until the half ends.
Yeah, Nato at 12K, Stavin at 11. So finally, we do see Fnatic start to show up. They start to wake up here off the back of Brolin getting a nice double kill towards ramp to shut the push down. And funny enough, the one time we do see Heroic pushing towards ramp, well, it doesn't work out for them. I would imagine they're not going to continue to go that direction here in these last 2 rounds on their T side. You can see, though, on the side of Fnatic, missing still a little bit of utility. Only 1 AUG picked up, so definitely not the kit they want to have off the bat. And just to remind you guys as well at home, we are not playing on the latest patch. This is still the patch prior to yesterday. So the AUG is not nerfed at the moment. But Heroic just seem to have not really been punished on the T side, or pushed, I'd say, to their limits. And when you have Freiburg opening sites constantly, or opening outside.
Yeah, I think props have to be given to S-Tag as well. His openers into A have been what have given them a lot of the advantages they have. Again, we're going to see the majority of the utility for Fnatic fade already. No incendiaries, only a couple of smokes, and we're going to see those late outside smokes used. And this is where like a little bit of utility really can be valuable. Like, for example, there's now a Molotov that you can throw for where one of the smokes bounces. It hits the Molotov, and then there's a massive gap in the smoke.
Right.
Like, that's just like small details you can throw in. S-Tag going to be boosted up to try and spot anybody over the top, which would be in heaven, but they take a little bit too long. Their smokes actually fade. That nade is spot on. A lot of utility damage now done, but they have still made their way down. There is, in turn, going to be a couple of players now here, Twist and Brolin, waiting for them to make their move into the site. 30 seconds, Heroic like to leave it late, but they've been effective in these scenarios. However, this corner is hard to clear. They do have the Molotovs for it. It's just whether or not they predict that Brolin is going to be sat down below. Twist also holding with the AWP from above, and they are getting right down to the wire. 15 seconds left on the clock. The remaining players up above are yet to rotate just because they're actually not sure, but there you go. That's going to be the shot hit from Twist. Now they go to plant the bomb. They're actually going to be successful. Freiburg making a distraction, and he finds a first. He knows the Twist is around this corner, looking for him, but he won't find the jewel. However, the trade is back from NATO, who looks to try and get a little bit more aggressive, wrapping around behind Crims. Crims is going to be watching towards those doors, waiting behind. They're going to start tapping the bombs. Down is around this corner. He's going to have to peek it eventually. The shot's hit by NATO, and it will be Brolin to go down as well. They've turned it once again. Twist is left alone, and Stown will close things out. How did Heroic win that round? They get the bomb down in a 5v3 with 8 seconds left, and still they turn things back.
It's got to be Freiburg pushing ramp, right? Able to sneak through, able to cause a distraction to hold up 2 players, kill one of them, and then force Twist to take some extra time before we can look for anyone else on the site. The thing is, they planted the bomb with so few, or they actually made the execute in towards lower with so little time left on the board. They had sub 10 seconds, and they finally make the push through. Planted inside of a smoke, just one stray shot could have ended any chance Heroic had in that round. But now, into the final round of the half, 11-3, looking for potentially a 12-3 scoreline. S-Tag's gonna get an easy pick out of Brolin as Fnatic have finally pushed up towards ramp. But I feel like this is gonna be the nail in the coffin here in this first map. Heroic, I see it being very difficult for them to lose this map now. But of course, my commentator's curses, we learned during the Pro League in Leicester how strong it is. But let's be honest, like Heroic are playing like a completely different team, like on a completely different level than Fnatic here on Nuke at least.
Freiburg's been clinical. It genuinely brings a smile to my face to see him playing this well. Well, maybe not so much on the other side. We did see a 12-round streak yesterday on Dust 2 out from Fnatic, but that was on the CT side of Dust 2, not the T side of Nuke, so...
It's like the same thing, right?
Not quite. Even still, again, the clock being utilized by Heroic, taking their time, not wanting to give away anything. The remaining 2 players on Fnatic have a little bit of utility, but the weaponry is what really lets them down and exist. Maybe about to come into some trouble here. He's got multiple players around his position. Freiburg going to be looking to wrap in. Needs to check the close angle. He switches away, but spots him out. And that'll be enough to close this down. A 12-3 T-side half. Heroic couldn't have imagined this in their wildest dreams coming into Nuke. And now all they need is 4 rounds on the favored CT side, and they will be heading with a lead into map 2. We'll be back after a short break.
Welcome back, everyone, to the story of how Heroic had a landslide victory on Nuke here. 12-3 from the T side. Moving on to the CT now. Will they continue their dominance and then potentially keep that dominance going into Mirage, which will be our second map? Or will Fnatic be able to take us to our third and final overpass? And speaking of speed and aggression that we saw out of Heroic, look at Fnatic getting quickly in and blame F. Oh my lord, those two quick shots coming through helps equalize, gives them the advantage. Is potentially going to be overrun finally. And Savin, well, you know, you hate to see it.
Yeah, all the power went into Blame's USP and was taken from Stans instead. Now, it's going to be a tough retake. Getting down the vent is not going to be easy for Stan, but JW dunked. You don't normally see an HE board in alongside the kit. It's normally a smoke, but clearly it had its purpose. I think Twist's been spotted by NATO. It's Crims they have to worry about. He's waiting on the angle. Bit of a dicey shot, but he will get there in the end. Stan now making his rotation in. Twist is going to be waiting. Looks for the peek out, doesn't expect him to be there. And S-Tag now left all alone, at least removes JW. He knows that both players are around this angle. This is where he'd love to have a smoke, but he's just going to try and stick the defusal. Here's Crims coming, and there's nothing he can do. 2 for Crims, 2 for Twist, and Fnatic have their fourth.
All right, so Fnatic are not out just yet. Start they needed, 100%. However, that could have been different if Staff was able to hit those shots from upper, from rafters, up in heaven. But you can also argue it wouldn't even been into a situation like that if BlameF didn't get those 2 quick kills, plucking the heads off of Fnatic. And we can see Scout picked up for S-Tag, the buy-up out of Heroic in general. And Fnatic need to hope to hell that BlameF can't get revenge with the Deagle this time.
Well, same situation. Gone for the investment because if they do lose this round, they'll save one and then make sure that they have the big boy buy with everything they could possibly desire. There's Tag, watching them as they cross, connects onto 1 and a second as well. That's more worthwhile than probably just getting a single kill as he'll set up these pistol players to potentially take down 2 and a little bit of a crossfire between them. Look, there's 3 players already sat on this lower bomb site. They've left just down on his own up above. Now, there are still a couple of players lurking, but the bomb has already made its way down secret, so it would suggest that Fnatic are going to be going in this direction. Blame, nice shot to start, but it's a quick trade from Twister. They expect 2 players to be here. It doesn't seem like it. Freiberg, he's already got 1. He wants to just find the final shot onto his ex-teammate, but instead the youngster of Stown has rotated in. Now, this is interesting. I'm watching JW. He's still up above. He wants to hit the timing perfectly, and it's more just going to be whether or not Stown switches his aim on towards Crims. It's all about timing, and Crims finds the kill and the second as well. Clinical with his finish. And Fnatic, they get another round, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah, definitely a costly round considering what they bought up into that. S-Tag was able to tag 2 players on the cross, which they were to be able to convert into kills. Which is a good start for Heroic, but now back on the save. Flash for Stavin, so I'm imagining we're going to see a quick push coming somewhere, most likely on the outside. But Fnatic have not given up just yet, and why would they? Loser of this series is going to be out of the entire tournament. They're playing for $600,000 on the line.
Yeah, this is also a big, big moment for this Heroic roster. They were unable to make it. The miners, getting a little bit of damage. Yeah, but they ended up losing to Crazy, so... There was actually a tweet that came out from the Crazy account, which was just brutal. It said something like, it's all well and good being heroic, but sometimes it's better to be crazy. Just like, okay, they've just been eliminated.
Oh. I really want to say how I feel about that tweet, but I probably shouldn't. It's very edgy. Oh, all right, Blame.
They made these rounds very costly, like both times dropping 3 players, and it will be the 3 in the end, so at least something, JW. Wanting to throw in a little bit of BM, but I don't think Blame's really going to care in this situation. Here we go, AWP in. Actually going to be onto S-Tag this time. I think that's mainly based off of just finance. We haven't actually seen NATO AWPing yet.
Hasn't needed to.
No, they've been throwing in a lot of awfully fast plays on the T side, so him having an AWP actually wouldn't have made any sense for the strategies, but, well, hopefully it'll come in at some point, but then again, if they manage to win this round, it may never be needed. S-Tag only getting it because, well, it's not going to throw it over if he doesn't have a Kevlar. Ooh, this is interesting. Just going to get a little boost in. Allow him for the fast way up. Just looking to reposition. The T's already taking some control into the lobby.
Molotov's now being thrown on the outside to get some more control. However, S-Tag's going to be waiting there. Gonna be looking for that cross to potentially come through. He's not going to be given that opportunity. Not going to be sticking close. They're able to spot out the first player, Freiburg. He's going to get caught out by JW. Eventually going to be traded back on by Blame, who just drops down the vent to escape to safety. But unfortunately, the rest of his team isn't as safe as he is. There's now 3 players have fallen. They've lost to AWP. And Fnatic have been able to take upper control with 4 players left alive.
Yeah, Freiburg actually gets quite unlucky there because someone pushed through the door. So his little escape plan to get into the corner next to the door, he basically just rubs his back on the barrel of the gun. So like probably not the best idea.
Like a bear with a tree.
Yeah. Although the tree doesn't normally shoot you in the back when you do that.
I hope not. That'd be a weird-ass tree.
Well, Blame, he does escape, as you mentioned. So there's going to be 1 weapon brought into the next round at least, but not anything to really write home about. There's
1 player in hot pursuit, Crims. And actually, if he can pick up like quite a few kills here, I'd be so amazed, and that's going to be so punishing to Fnatic's side. Instead, he's going to look to try to save his. Unfortunately, he won't be able to, as Brolin's going to drop him. But again, making these rounds costly for Fnatic, who have been able to take every round on their T side, but they've not been able to build up a stable economy off the back of that. Take a look at what they have to spend at the moment, and that's not really reflective of what they've been able to do, taking, what, 4 rounds now?
Yeah, the thing is, when I watch Fnatic, as long as they're winning the rounds, I don't really worry for them. Like, that's just the way they are. Like, a lot of the time you have these clutch plays, these big plays coming out from any player within the team. And as long as they keep grinding out rounds, they're going to continue to gain in confidence. So I think Heroic have to bring this back, and they have to bring it back soon. Because if too many rounds go the other way, we saw it yesterday. Fnatic aren't the type of team that when they start going, they slip up. They won 12 rounds back to back. And for anybody wondering, the reason it didn't get to 13 is because they won the map at that point.
Let's also be a little bit fair to Heroic. Heroic, I would want to say, are better than Greyhound. Yeah, at least in the form of this tournament.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, Greyhound.
Blame. The AK unfortunately gets knocked away from him. However, he doesn't want it. He goes for the CZ kill on a twist, who's eventually able to pick him up. And now Stavik coming in through Secret as well is able to get 1. Now it's going to be 3 on against 2. Freiburg recovered an AK. And Fnatic now in a rough position.
That nade's almost enough. Instead, they're going to give Freiburg the chance to be boosted up. They may not be expecting this. He's right up above, spots out one of the players. I don't think Twist knows he's there. JW might be about to walk into his doom, but Freiburg fires a shot.
Better be safe than sorry there in that situation, considering he was the one with the weapon. What a shot on the Twist. Now JW all by himself. Freiburg on 15, S-Tag on 10. However, JW does not have the bomb and has no idea where Nato is, who's going to be flanking around from T-spawn.
He's on a long flank. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock as well. JW knows that to get this bomb, he basically has to walk into a crossfire, and in a second, that crossfire is going to get a little bit worse. Starting to have to run, being shot in the back, down to just 20 HP, and now Freiburg sits on the site, waiting for him to go for this plant. He has played this absolutely perfectly, and that is going to be another round won by the Swedish legend. 3 kills, a great team effort as well with the pistols, but they do get their revenge for that pistol win, Jason, and it comes right back to haunt Fnatic.
And our Heroic going to be taking the time out here to talk some things over, looking for a clean round, as obviously they have money to buy up into this one. Freiburg is having one hell of a match, 106 ADR, 20 kills. All in all, everyone on the side of Heroic has been having some good rounds. Everyone's been stepping up at their own moments. And Crims, even on the side of Fnatic, has been having a relatively good game. Even though he's only at 16, but Twisted 18. He's been able to really put the hurt into the Heroic side. But I don't know. I feel like if Heroic win this round, things have become very risky for Fnatic, who have been able to force up into this with a couple of AKs, a Galil, an SG, and JW and a Deagle. And if I were to look at this, I'd be like, all right, this should be a round that Fnatic can't win. But it's Fnatic. They've been able to do more with less many a times.
Well, all in all, it's not that bad. The utility is a little bit weaker, but by the looks of things, they're going to try and brute force it. Well, I think for JW, this was more of an attempt to maybe get towards the vent. The thing is, though, I think he was hoping that that smoke extinguished the Molotov. Yeah, well, it's actually going to be done by the CTs instead. But they've got Freiburg now in position up above, and he's a little bit wary that someone has managed to get down, so he's going to go check. Also just maybe given information by Hashtag as well that it's possible someone's gone rotating down, so they at least have a little bit of information, and NATO is going to hear the footsteps as they wrap around onto the ramp, so they are starting to get an idea of the picture being painted by Fnatic, but they could still double back around, so they haven't been able to completely gamble onto this B site just yet.
The thing is, Hashtag's in a one-and-done spot. Luckily for him, there's not two players on the outside to push against him. Nato is going to see Brolin throwing out some smokes and flashes, gets the first shot onto him. Trying to stay alive, using a smoke to give him some cover and potentially block off some angles here. As Exist now might try to drop in. He actually does behind the smoke, trying to spam through, and Nato's going to be spamming right back and takes him down. That's the bomb now dropped. 40 seconds left to go. Now able to get the third as Twist is able to finally take down the Juggernaut left on the lower site. And Freiburg waiting with the way he's been playing so far in this match. There's no way he's going to miss a shot like that. And now it's all in the hands of Twist.
Yeah, this is a tough position to get out of. Just looking to get the bomb plant to at least earn some extra cash already. Freiburg knows exactly where he is, and he's just going to wait for the cavalry to arrive as they can rotate in, surround Twist, and he knows this. So he's going to try and get aggressive, but it's not going to happen. Freiburg absolutely clinical in this match today. 14th round on the board for Heroic. The only saving grace is the fact that Fnatic get a bomb plant. So they'll have some money going into the next round. Even still, it's not going to be anything pretty. And they might just have to save and fight at 15.
Yeah, I mean, look at what they do have. That's definitely going to have to be in the cards, or not, because they're going to be at least going for the heroic play out of one player, with the SG picked up for 2 players and a couple of pistols. So they're investing everything into this round here, Tom. They're going for broke. Prevent Heroic from taking it to map point. But even though Fnatic did have that fantastic streak of 4 rounds at the beginning of their T half, I still find it hard for them to come back into this match, at least at this current state. If they take like the next 3, then I think it's going to be more realistic. Definitely a bigger possibility. But knowing that, you know, if Freiburg just has that one big play, that one big round, then that map point's going to be there. And with the way he's been playing, it's definitely a possibility with how many rounds that are left on the board. But out of both teams, by the way, Tom, not a lot of presence on ramp from either of them on the T side.
I think we only saw it 1 or 2 times from Heroic, and that was pretty much just, I think it was down, just running down there and popping heads. And we did have it in the last round as well for Fnatic, but it was so passively played by the CT side that made things very difficult, and NATO just sitting on the headshot angle was enough to at least give them the big advantage. Brolin spotted outside of the smoke. It's going to be gone within seconds. Blame's already going to pick off one more. It looks like they may even have made the active decision that Hashtag will be AWPing on Nuke. There's many teams that actually do that, in fact. There's like Chris J when he was playing with Oscar. Oscar's obviously the primary AWPer. Chris J would always AWP on Nuke because Oscar just didn't like AWPing on Nuke. In fact, Oscar used to play with an XM a lot of the time, just around on the side.
Leave it alone, Tom.
That's why I remember it. It's because of that. But well...
Oh, that was a good nade.
It was nice. Crims actually might be able to get this kill just because of it. I think he's a little bit wary that there is somebody close to Secret.
12 seconds left. They're going to have to make their move. Is this going to be flashed in towards Opera? Looking for the kill on Nato, but he's not able to capitalize off that. Now JW's going to go for his chance, and now he's going to shut him down yet again. Crim's trying to run in with no time left, and Heroic now on map point at 15-7. Fnatic not leaving themselves enough time to capitalize and potentially get that bomb down.
He got 3 kills and 19 HP. Just no one able to connect a bullet onto him. Exist doing the one thing that you can never really do with the Deagle, which is spamming. Like, you basically just go straight to praying that the gods are on your side. And they weren't. 15-7, all they come back is with pistols, but they've got a lot of utility, so we'll have to see how Fnatic are going to opt to use this as an active decision to make sure that they have this going into the round. Smoke But we down onto outside as Blaine looks to get a little bit aggressive here. Not something we've seen too much of on this outer portion of the map, but in fact, they're doing it across the map, clearly feeling confident at this point. They've got to make sure they don't get a little bit too overzealous. Stown now with about 15 angles to check. He's going to clear ramp. A lot of information gathered, and Blame's already going to kick things off. They don't expect Stown to be here. Need to trade this kill, and they'll fail. 2 players remain from Fnatic to try and save this map. Twist and JW at least able to close out Stown. That's an AUG, but now NATO's got aggressive as well. They don't expect him here either. 16-7, the exact scoreline that Astralis dominated them on yesterday. They've now done to the Swedish legends of Fnatic. And honestly, that was just an all-round impressive performance from Hero.